out of all my friends. You literally built your brand on gaslighting people. I don't even know if you know when you're doing it. I think it's insane. So maybe,
now you're projecting clearly, right?
No,
is that what you're doing? Is that the
no.
bit we're doing? Your podcast is more successful than ours, and it feels like you're coming on our podcast and saying, I'm sitting here and now twice there's been a joke about how our show is not funny and is boring. I'm like,
First of all,
buddy.
First of all, what happened to the Esther we fell in love with? Huh? What happened to our girl, the one that was like high and barely paying attention and didn't care about any of this?
Why are you so...
What happened?
Oh,
Why are you
LA
taking this
consumed her.
Yeah, dude. She's taking this way too seriously.
what is that?
Back when you
Why?
liked her, Mersh, she still had a little bit of Chicago left in her. There was a little bit of a fight, a spunk. Now she's a dead-eyed LA husk.
Yeah, Jesus.
We have a bit of a funny confrontation here. Esther Pavitsky and Kalila getting seriously upset.
Why is she dressed like she's fucking hungover?
Because she's hungover.
Because Rick Glassman made fun of them. I wish I was kidding. Recently, he was on the Trash Tuesday podcast where he made the mistake of having banter with Esther and Kalila. The phrase punching down was used with a straight face.
Wait, punching down? Are we having comedians really using the term punching down?
Apparently.
Again, I'm not kidding. Before we get to the part where Esther and Kalila confront
we were watching this earlier. Casey said that Kalila is dressed like she thinks who the fuck she is. And then she goes, "You're just a comedian's girlfriend."
Yeah, seriously.
Rick. It's also fun to see what led up to this special moment. Straight out of the gate, Rick is joking around with these guys with his classic, Rick Glassman sense of humor. I recently covered his appearance on Kill Tony where he trolled Hinchcliffe, who had to pretty much tell him to stop. We know Rick likes to have banter, but with the following clips, you can see Esther getting more and more upset the more Rick makes a joke at her and Kalila's expense.
All right, let's get this over with, huh? Well, most things I do are as well. Let's get this over with.
Rick, I feel like you're in a bad mood.
Not at all.
Okay.
I don't think so. Look at the pants he's wearing. Festive.
But sometimes you over.
What was the joke there? Look at the pants he's wearing. What's the joke there?
Compensate when you're in a bad mood with your like.
So you must always be in a good mood.
Put it for Brent Morin.
Give it up. Do we
Prayer
do this
hands
on
in it.
podcasts? Like it's a live show?
Yeah.
And then there's Rick. Welcome back.
Thanks for having me.
Also, can I point out one thing that I would fuck this dude up for? He's got his feet on their table, which is funny. I'm laughing because you're doing it to them, and that's funny. But I probably would have gotten fucking snippy with this guy at one point too. But I wouldn't have been like, he said our show's not funny. I'd have just would have been like, yo, what's with the fucking feet on the table? Get your fucking feet off my table. You know what I mean? Like that would be my only beef.
Let's get this over with.
That's the 8th time you've said it. Is that your new half Jewish, half regular?
What?
Is that your new half Jewish? Your new opener?
I don't know, man. Let's get this over with,
Yeah. What's wrong with you today?
I don't think anything. Really, I don't think anything. But who's able to set boundaries?
Yeah. And I get that,
Has there ever been a situation where she's been like...
Jesus Christ.
This is very funny.
This would be funny.
Just make sure you get the camera switches right in post.
Dude, this is pretty funny, man.
Come on,
this is a
he's
good troll.
fucking with them.
This is pretty funny.
Yes, I have like a selective thing with being grossed out by people, and you're on the list.
Okay, well, I'm glad I made the list.
Well...
Oh, fuck.
That is really funny.
That's a good bit, man.
Holy fuck.
This Rick Glassman guy's pretty funny.
Don't sneak up on me like that.
Have I really gone downhill? Is my face a jump scare these days?
No.
Oh, I'm so sorry. That's not the joke I was trying
What's
to make.
the joke?
If you've seen Rick on different podcast appearances, this is what he does. He pokes fun at everything and everyone in the room. But this podcast doesn't seem like the
It
right...
sounds like he's trying to make a pretty fucking oversaturated, boring fucking art form interesting.
Yeah.
atmosphere for his jokes.
No, he
They
should have
clearly-
came on and just talked about the craft, man. And like, yo, have you been to the mothership, dude? Austin, bro? It's crazy, man.
like having serious, genuine conversation without poking fun at each other.
No, that was his real ex, who I'm actually friends with now, which is a little bit weird to say.
Why is she? What's wrong with her?
But we're really like good friends.
Do you guys want to start doing some jokes or something?
Oh, God, that's fucking nice. Woo! That's good. That's good.
I'm uncomfortable.
You guys want to start doing jokes or something, or?
Yeah.
The fuck
Go
is
ahead.
this?
Let's do this next time we go on Harrison's show.
This rules.
Rick is obviously picking the worst possible.
By the way, can I be clear? I could already right off the bat could tell he's fucking around. Like I wouldn't take this personally because I could tell he's fucking around.
Again, the feet on the table thing I wouldn't like.
You know why I wouldn't care? It's not even their studio. It's one they ran out. Who gives a shit?
That's not. I don't care. That's not what it's about.
The respect thing.
There's certain things you just don't do. You don't put your I would have been like, yo, 90% of this was great. Get your fucking feet off my table. Like even if it wasn't our studio or our table, it's my right now. It's our fucking table. Get your feet off my table.
Time to say something like that, which is, of course,
If I rented an Airbnb and he's got his fucking feet up on the table, I go, hey man, look, it's not my house, but like it's still technically for the 48 hours we're here. It's,
a joke, right? But to Esther, he's just being rude. She's a comedian, so you'd think she'd understand that he's just trying to be funny. She then tries to push
She's
the
an LA comedian.
Yeah, that's not the same thing as a real one.
conversation.
And besides, come on, Esther, realistically, we all know you're not going to have a career. All right, like you're gonna end up just marrying some low-level CAA agent that wants to marry his mom.
Who's she married to? Can you tell me who she's married to? Pessy or engaged to?
Oh, yeah. Let me tell you 1 second.
funny. She then tries to
Let's see if Mersh gets the hat.
push the conversation.
The little hat?
more-
No, the wizard hat. If you predicted it right, we got to see.
What did he predict?
I said it's probably some low to mid-range like agent for some fucking
Okay, let me
agency
see.
who wants
she's
to marry his
engaged-
mother.
She's engaged to comedy writer Dave King.
Ooh, close. Close, but not there. Yeah, close.
Hold on, I'm gonna look him up.
serious direction, which didn't go too well because Rick spoiled that with another joke.
Oh, okay, dude. Honestly, this Dave King guy, you want to hear his like writing credits?
Mm-hmm.
He did that reboot show with Keegan-Michael Key, The Good Place.
Mm-hmm.
He wrote an episode of The Simpsons in 2016.
Oh, so
Not
it
Good
was bad.
Simpsons, but still. The League, a couple episodes of The League. Workaholics, 13 episodes. He was a staff writer.
Okay.
Rick spoiled that with another joke.
What's an example for
The
adult
easiest one, where this became conscious that I was like using this as a tool is.
Where's the jokes?
No, she's getting offended. Trying to
I'm
fucking.
getting so mad. Oh my
Where's
god.
the jokes? They're the two hosts of the show. There you go. That was what I would have
Are
said.
you guys gonna have a banana?
You said you guys didn't want them.
Good comeback. Good comeback.
You said you did want them.
I did, but you guys like what your podcast has become.
Holy shit!
Wow. Brutal. I like this. This is fun.
Okay, so gaslighting, I just looked it up on the screen, and it's manipulating someone into doubting their own reality.
That's not true. It's not even real.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Gaslighting's
You're just
real.
being crazy.
You're just crazy.
Oh,
I do feel
Hannibal Lecter.
that that's what you do to me.
I know you do.
Yeah.
And while we're on the subject of projecting, and I've said this to you before, out of all my friends, you literally built your brand on gaslighting people. I don't even know if you know when you're doing it. I think it's insane. So maybe,
now you're projecting clearly,
Dude,
right?
I love it. He's
Is that
gaslighting her that she gaslights people. This is the fucking.
It's amazing.
what you're
If I-
doing? Is that the
no.
bit we're doing?
I think he's doing meta gaslighting to you.
Because I'm just specific example.
Mm-hmm.
In the beginning of the episode, I was like, "What's wrong? I feel like you're in a bad mood," and you told me like, "No, you're not."
I'm not.
But you had said multiple times you wanted to get it over with.
He was fucking.
He's really
kidding.
he's really just proving that women are not funny.
He was kidding.
You're proving that women are in fact not funny
Bro,
by being funny
dude,
and them not getting
if you
it.
think this is rough, go on Alex Stein's show. You want to talk about insanity? Come on.
Yeah, I was just making a joke. I say that on my podcast when I start all the time. All right,
Okay.
let's get this over with. It's just a
Okay.
little joke.
Well, that was my reality, and then now it's
That was my reality.
cleared up.
Good.
Wow.
Okay.
It's interesting that Esther says that he's gaslighting her when you could make the argument that it's the other way around. She uses the example of Rick saying, let's get it over with, which was obviously a joke. I can't believe that we're even talking about
Let
it.
me get to this peak here.
You're really focused on this one episode being
Yeah, but
boring,
wouldn't
but
that-
look at all of your boring episodes.
Bro, this guy's hilarious.
Holy shit.
But
I
this
do
is-
recommend
the
if
show
you
is.
haven't watched his podcast, Rick Glassman, he has people over to his place, and he just.
Oh no, I
he's
actually,
so-
I definitely have seen his show before.
he makes them. It's so uncomfortable. It's.
He's had Shane Gillis on, I believe, right?
Yes.
Pretty sure I saw that one.
But
Let
if
me
I'm
check in
looking
with
at a
you.
tree with an owl in a forest, I'm
Hold on,
going to
hold
look
on,
at
hold on.
that tree because of the owl.
Shane doesn't get uncomfortable though.
So I
check in
want
with
to hold
you.
space for Esther.
How do you feel when
I
he
want to
does that?
hold space for Esther.
Oh, your show is
Fucking Jim Morrison over here. What's going on?
not funny anymore. It's boring all the time. Where does that land with you?
I don't know. It's me.
Also, can I ask a question? What happened to Annie Letterman? Does she just not do the show anymore?
I have no idea. I don't watch this, so I couldn't tell you.
It's mean, and it doesn't make me
Well, you tell me the person to the right of her is not Annie Letterman? I thought she was just looking
Ooh.
terrible. Okay.
feel good. But then I have trouble telling you that because I feel like you'll just say something meaner back.
Yes!
Yeah, it's called banter. Comedians used to be mean to each other all the time. It's funny. They still are. It's funny. Bro, I've always said this. Listen to clips of fucking Norton and Colin Quinn going at each, or just basically Colin Quinn just going after Norton. Go listen to fucking Patrice going after every comic. Just what they do, dude.
Yes!
By the way, yeah, I just verified Annie Letterman left last year.
Really?
Yeah, episode 160 was her last episode. They're on 214. Yeah, she left a while ago.
Why'd she leave? What'd she go do?
She was in Terrifier 3. She was actually a voice in Grand Theft Auto 5.
Okay, so she has
Like,
she has real jobs.
Yeah, and she has her own podcast.
I feel like
And-
you can say that, but if I said that, I would just get pounded and pummeled even further.
Because I'm not.
Because you're not okay. I hope she says this. Because you're not giving him the reaction. Like this, is what happens if Mersh and I do this all the time. If you go to a place and you want to fuck with somebody, the person that's giving, if there's a bunch of people there, the moment somebody gives you the reaction, then that's the person you focus on.
Yeah, now we're just picking on this one
She
guy.
doesn't. She's zonked out on pills, dude.
Yeah,
she
she
doesn't
doesn't
care.
get- wait, what?
Going after her is just like, yeah, that's crazy, dude. Like, so obviously, I hope that's what she says. You're giving him the reaction.
Not as quick as
I was
you.
trying to stay
I'm not as quick as you.
quiet, but I can't.
I think that's
Oh my God.
Here's where I have trouble in life a lot, and I hope you'll give me like maybe 30 seconds
What's wrong with you?
to finish this thought without saying like, wrap it up or let's get it over with. I think that I love you so deeply, but you're so brilliant and you're so quick. It's sometimes hard to contend with that and tell you how I truly feel.
Because he's good at being funny. Like, this is a comedy show, though. Like, look, I'd understand, right? If this was like a serious politician and all he was doing was deflecting. This is what you're supposed to do when you go on somebody's show is be funny. Am I wrong? Am I losing my mind here? Like, who cares?
Because I feel like you're just gonna trample it because you're smarter than me, you're quicker than me, and your brain is connected to your mouth, and therefore you're
Where's your brain connected to? I know where your mouth is connected to, your brother's dick, but where's your brain?
able to get your thoughts much quicker. Versus me, it takes time to process. So I'll leave here.
Then why are you doing a show? If you can't even like do the bare minimum of bantering with people, what are you doing?
Feeling like
She's like,
"Gosh,
my
why-
process is different. I like to sit quietly for 2 hours, and then on my way home, I think of good jokes that I would have said.
Rick say that so many times
She has
about
a lot of arguments with shampoo bottles in the shower.
our show, and probably never say it to you because I have trouble contending with fast speakers.
Why are you doing a podcast where you have comedians on then? If you have trouble, like, I don't understand what this whole show even is. I mean, it's aptly named.
Does that make sense?
Wow.
And
But then,
I'll
also on the same note, I truly love you. But
Yeah,
also,
it's confusing.
it is mean.
And I would also like to add, like,
Here we go.
it's honestly really, and I'm sorry, like, I wanted to wait and, like, say cut or whatever, but, like, I feel like it was really hard just now when we were starting and you said that I said I didn't want to have Brent on without you because it wouldn't do good numbers. Like, I don't remember saying that. I might have. I say that
you
sometimes.
didn't. I'm sorry.
No.
You did. She didn't. She never said that.
I
But
never
that
thought
was-
he did.
But that was so, like,
So he was kidding.
mean, and I felt like it was mean. to Brent.
Mean.
What is going? Is this a comedy show?
Not anymore. No.
Someone said in chat she's literally acting like the rejoiner. Why are you guys mean to me?
Do you know how fucking mean we are to each other every single fucking day? And no one's a little baby bitch about it? Like, who cares? Who fucking cares?
Do you imagine like any of the guys at Gas Digital talking to each other like this?
No.
And then you were mean to me. Why are you making fun of me?
Jesus Christ. Why is Godfrey crying?
But it was coming from me.
Yeah, why is Godfrey crying and like, I don't know, not thanking people for holding the door for him?
In that
It's very specific.
way that you packaged it. And
It's a simple thing though, right? You do that?
Of course.
You know, it's like some people just do that kind of thing culturally.
Unfortunately, he wasn't the good Godfrey, the Gilbert one.
he said something bad about himself. Like, yeah, I get it. And I'm just like sitting here thinking like, oh my God, does Brent think that I said that? And
I can't get my brain behind people like this. It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't even process to me.
and like I'm an asshole and I'm like thrown off by it, and it was just but then I know if I say something then you'll be like, I was just joking.
Because he is joking. Oh my God. Is she having a struggle session on her podcast?
Yes, on her own show.
And then I'm like,
yeah,
okay.
Who's this dude that's next to them?
Well,
Brett Morin, or he's another LA comedian, I think.
Okay.
Not have said anything. I don't know.
So let's start with Kalila. Her whole thing seems to be that Rick is too quick on his feet and I guess smarter than her, and because of that, she's not able to participate in the banter. So
By the way, can I also say he's very funny, but it's like it's not like these jokes are like crazy quick, like what a genius. They're pretty, basic, funny little comebacks, like quips, and that's too much for you?
therefore, instead of laughing it off, she becomes a victim and calls him mean. With Esther, she describes a joke Rick makes at the expense of his friend. She also doesn't know how to respond. She even says, I know you're likely going to say you're joking. So I guess you really can't have banter with these guys, which makes it kind of ironic that they would get upset about Rick calling their show boring. Brent says he knew Rick was joking. Esther could have just leaned into the joke or just turned the joke back onto Rick.
On TV.
It is those things, and there's truth and there's silliness, and like we're different. I am able to receive things in a certain way, not for better or for worse, differently than you. And it's easy to get confused of like, oh, I could take this, so she can, when that's not necessarily the case.
Don't back off. Do not back off, Mr. Glassman.
Yeah, you still have to be LA about it.
Yeah, ain't much work.
But I will say, the rules are not something that I came into our relationship with, rather something that we calibrated together.
Mm-hmm.
And there are times where the same thing the next time bothers you. Even you said,
oh, okay, he's not. He's saying she's calling her a hypocrite. Okay, that's fair.
Rick, I made this decision that sometimes people gross me out and you're on the list, or however you said it. And it's like, it's just, we're self-deprecating. We make jokes about each other, about other people. Now, there are some people you can't do that with.
that live on TV.
It is a little confusing with you because you do it all the time. And
I do.
That's true. She does. That's fair. Specifically, Esther. She's Mrs. Dry. Like, yeah, is that what you think? Like, at it. Like that's her whole vibe. Is like this weird, like ambivalent, passive aggressiveness. I guess is what I would call it. And it's fine. That's the way you do jokes. But what is he doing any different than when you do?
What all the time?
punch and make fun.
I don't know. I wouldn't say that I punch all the time.
Okay, well,
But
to me, I receive it that way, and I like it.
Punching back.
Look,
Wait,
I
did she
agree,
just say I
like-
wouldn't say I punch on all the time, but poke?
And prod.
I like when you punch at me. It's fun.
So I don't know when. So what I've just learned is there's a sensitivity to maybe talking about the show as a whole. Check.
To be honest, it feels like punching down, right? Because you
Punching down? He's doing your show.
have your podcast is more successful than ours, and it feels like you're coming on our podcast and saying and I know you said you don't know our numbers, but the last time we had a phone call, we were talking numbers. Maybe you don't remember. I don't expect you.
You seem to care about numbers more than he does.
Well, yeah, because you're both Jewish. You should both care
remember
about
everything
numbers.
we say to each other.
Here's what I think is the truth, is that her podcast isn't doing that well and the numbers have been bad. And so she thought, hey, Rick's doing great. I'm going to have Rick on. And Rick was making fun of their show and it hoit.
telling you our numbers and compared to yours, and
Let's see that. Trash Tuesdays. Let's see what I haven't checked them out in a while. They have 163,000 subs.
Esther.
If you look at their own, seems to only be on sorry. They seem to only be on YouTube. All right. The episode. Okay, so let's go. Yeah, 7 days ago they did an episode 227. They got 38,000 views. 2 weeks ago, their episode before that, 25,000, 21,000. I mean, give or take, I'd say their average episode is anywhere between average. I would say like 35.
It's not great.
No, I mean, if you have 160,000 subs, it's not the best.
No.
Okay. Well, but let me ask you a question. What does that matter? Who gives a shit? Like, I don't care.
They are much lower. That you might not be viewing it that way. That's the way I'm receiving it. Is it feels like punching down. I'm not saying
I
that you're
hear
on
ya.
purpose punching
Well,
down.
I'm sorry.
Esther has to be the first comedian to complain about another comedian making fun of them and seriously call it punching down. Esther said that
Hey, are you on your period?
Rick likes to gaslight her, when she seems to pretend like Rick is just bullying her and that it's completely one-sided banter. I checked out the beginning of Esther's last appearance on Rick's podcast, and they're throwing jabs at each other the whole time.
Okay.
This is just it's just you and me.
Yeah. And how was Pilates really? Are you Esther? I take creatine. I take collagen protein. 5 milligrams of creatine. Very little.
I'm bored.
Okay, but she could. Okay, that's fair enough. Okay, but you're doing it though.
Like sometimes I just fall asleep, but if I can't, I usually pull up to your stand-up or something.
So in Esther's perfect world, she can make fun of Rick's podcast or comedy style and call him boring, but if he does anything like that in reverse...
Yeah, she's a woman, dude. That's how they are. That's how they are. And LA comics are the weakest of all comics, and I said that and I stand by that, and they all fucking suck. And LA comics are so fucking bad. The LA comedy scene's so bad, they'll take good comics from other places, and once they move out there, they eventually become horrible.
Oh, they ruin them.
Bill Burr. Great examples, Bill
Yeah.
Burr.